I love Super Mario World and you should too. This is easily my favorite 2D Mario game of all time, and I think it holds up better nowadays than it did all those years ago. The real question is, what makes this game so great? And is nostalgia really blindsiding us to make us think this game isn't as good as we thought it was? Well, there's only one way to find out, so let's get this over with. Picture this. It's the late 80s, you're Nintendo, and you've been on the top of the video game industry for over half a decade. The problem is you've got competition, that being Sega, with their advanced 16-bit system, the Genesis. You've got to up your game if you want to stay the king of gaming, so what are you gonna do? Announce your competitor's downfall, of course. Shortly after Sega released the Genesis, Nintendo held a press conference detailing that they were planning to release a 16-bit system of their own, basically reassuring customers not to waste their money on a Genesis. The system in question would end up being the Super Famicom in Japan and the Super Nintendo over here in North America. Also detailed at the conference were upcoming releases for the system, with a shining star being Super Mario Bros. 4. This was definitely interesting news, as Super Mario Bros. 3 hadn't even officially released outside of Japan. Hey, I can count! Prove it. No. Released on November 21st, 1990 in Japan, August 23rd, 1991 in America, and April 11th, 1992 in Europe, Super Mario World was released and enjoyed by everyone. Well, except for the Europeans, who didn't get the game until 2 years later. Imagine being British. Hey! Sorry, imagine playing Mario World 2 years later. You weren't even born yet. That's irrelevant. Wait, you weren't even British! That's irrelevant, man. You gotta get with the times. Get offended for groups that you're not even associated with. Yeah, I'll just get offended for fun. See, now you're getting it. See, that was pretty offensive right there. Popping the game into the system, you get this really cool opening scene, which, although basic when compared to today's standards, was revolutionary for 1990. Getting into the game itself, we're met with the world map of Dinosaur Island, the land we'll be playing throughout this game. I find it interesting that around this time, Nintendo decided to change up Mario for a bit, and one of these ways was to give him a new area to explore. I mean, think about it. Super Mario Land on the Game Boy had Sarasa Land, Super Mario Bros. 3 had you all over the place. Heck, Super Mario Bros. 2 was a hallucination. Like all good things in life. So we hop into the first level, and we're immediately thrown right in head over heels with a giant Koopa Troopa sliding towards us and a giant bonsai build coming straight for you. Get down! This game does not pull back any punches, and it wants you to know this is Mario, got it, get it, good. You'll notice nearly every enemy is different this time around. Goombas have been changed into Galoombas. How creative. And of course, a good majority of the enemies in this game are new inclusions, like this purple dinosaur guy, Rex. He's basically a double jump Goomba, and I really don't mind his inclusion in the game. I mean, I don't really care what's in the game. I'm an anti-pacifist. I'll jump on something if I want. Can we give it red hair? There's these weird green orbs in some of the ghost houses. I don't know why I'm mentioning them, but they were just kind of funny to me. Wait, Flubber's gone bad. Robin Williams, run! There's also Chargin' Chuck, a football kicking extraordinaire. I'm just gonna say it. I don't like football, and it's all Chuck's fault. I don't know. I don't care. The Super Bowl was pathetic, okay? On top of that, there's a good amount of returning enemies, like the Koopa Troopas and Koopalings from Mario 3. A random thing I thought I'd point out is that the piranha plants, except for when they go downwards in one level, don't have stems. I don't know why. It might have been a conscious decision to ensure that we had anything but a stem on this stupid plant. See, I like it. Not really, chop its head off. On top of the new enemies, you also get a brand new companion, Yoshi. This guy had a bit of a troubled history. Yoshi was meant to be in the original Super Mario Bros. All the way back in 1985, but due to technical limitations of the NES at the time, that just wasn't possible. This didn't stop Miyamoto, however, the creator of Mario and Zelda, from keeping a drawing of Mario riding a dinosaur for over 5 years in his office until the game's release, like a boss!
Hey, could you take a look at these tax returns for me?
No, I'm too dang busy looking at this sick drawing.
But you need to do your taxes.
I said no! A few newer inclusions on a different side of the spectrum would be the power-ups, more specifically the Cape Feather. This thing was the power-up to have back in the day because it was so cool, but at the same time, it was so broken, which in turn made it so cool. Yeah, the Cape Feather, a lot like Kirby's flight mechanic in the original Kirby games, was often misused and was used simply to fly over levels rather than actually play and beat them, which I totally know nothing about. Also, you have 6 months to live. On top of all of that, you might notice these oversized coins with dinosaurs on them. These are called Dragon Coins, and they're massive. You know what else is massive? No. Don't. No! One
more thing concerning the power-ups, that is, would be the backup box, as I would like to call it. The way it works is if you're Super Mario and you pick up another item, you can reserve that item so you can use it later on if you want to switch out items by pressing the select button, or if you lose your current power-up. This was definitely one of the nicer inclusions, given the fact that in previous Mario games, if you had a power-up like the Fire Flower and found a mushroom just like me on a daily basis, it did nothing.
Huh, sounds familiar.
The level design in this game is truly something else. World 1 is the perfect introduction to what this game is and what you need to do. Although I do have one gripe with it. World 1 and a little bit of World 2 are just way too easy. Now, this is probably because I've been playing the game for almost, 8 years? That could be the fact, but that doesn't shy away from the fact that this game is super easy. One of the prime examples of this has to be the first Ghost House section of the game. This has got to be the most unintentional, fastest, easiest level in Super Mario World. Here, let me show you how fast it is in real time.
I will take my trophy, please.
Even some of the earlier boss battles can be too easy. Both Iggy and Morton were super easy to fight whether or not you have a power-up, which really says something.
Yeah, maybe we shouldn't fight turtle children. Or, hear me out. Okay. We fight 8 of them. You're a genius!
Each level seems to be too short in length as well. It only takes about a minute or two to actually finish a level, and in some cases, I wish the levels were just dragged on a tad longer to show off the power of the Super Nintendo. To put it into perspective, it feels a whole lot like the original Sonic levels, which looked amazing visually but went by way too fast. It's ironic because not only is Mario much slower than Sonic, but they're also rivals. That isn't to say that this game is just an easy street the whole time.
I know Broadway songs! We're saving that for the 50th! Maybe.
What I mean by that is the game does have its own varying levels of difficulty that's shown best in Donuts Plane 4, at least in my opinion. This is where the game for me goes from happy-go-lucky to good luck. A great example for this, at least for me, would have to be the Ghost House in Vanilla Dome. I don't know if it's just me or if it's an unironically really hard level, but it took me 21 lives and I still couldn't beat the level.
Skill issue. Shut up!
Funnily enough, the difficulty can actually be decided by you, the player, as you progress through the game.
But how did I decide that? I don't see a difficulty screen. For one, you're blind, so I don't care. I'm deaf. No kidding. And it also revolves around those dotted line blocks. Here, let me explain. What?
In random spots during the game, you'll find these dotted line blocks, which aren't super hard to find, and they're darn near everywhere. In even less places, however, are the big switch palaces. If you do end up finding one of these spots, you can step on a big switch and enable a bunch of color corresponding blocks. It's definitely a nice workaround, considering when Nintendo could have just done a Mega Man and put a boring menu on a home screen.
Don't give him too much credit. Please keep in mind, this was the same company that thought that this was a good idea.
On a higher note, the music. See what I did there?
Okay, I'll stop!
What I'm gonna say is one of the most undisputed, truthful facts in all of gaming. The Super Mario World soundtrack is perfect. Every motif, every note, every beat, it's amazing. There's a bunch of smaller things that not everyone notices on their first time around.
But I noticed. I noticed, Nintendo. You didn't think I did. But I did.
A great example of this would have to be the extra beats we hear on the drums when we're riding Yoshi. Let's take a listen to what the main overworld sounds like on its own. Alright, now let's see what it sounds like when we're riding Yoshi. Did you hear that? There's an extra drum beat when it goes along with Yoshi trampling along back and forth on the ground. It's such a small, minute detail that not many people notice, but it's a great inclusion nonetheless. That's something that I noticed about this game. There's more to Mario World than it first may seem. For instance, gambling for children.
Yay! Yeah, wait, what? No, I'm watching a video of this kid falling into a gorilla pig pen and they saved the kid. Oh, nice. Wait a minute!
This game had a whole lot of marketing, from toys to accessories to an animated TV show. The only thing this game would have needed to become the greatest marketed game of all time would have been a movie. Fortunately, Super Mario Bros. 3 already got that 2 years previously with The Wizard, but it was a bad movie, so it doesn't really count.
And not bad like the Power Glove bad, but not Michael Jackson bad. It's just a bad that makes you say...
Overall, Super Mario World is the greatest Super Nintendo game of all time, and it definitely deserves that title. The graphics, the gameplay, the music, the impact it left, this is what made Mario Mario, and I love it.
Who knows, maybe one day we'll see another game just like Super Mario World that has the same level and polish and care put into it, and I really hope we do. Unfortunately, only time will tell, but that's not stopping Nintendo from re-releasing this game to death. And thank you so much! I needed to play this on 15 different consoles! Anyways, that's all we've got for you Retro Rewinders today. Stay safe, stay warm, stay watching, and stay retro. We'll catch you guys on the next level.